Guys, we are barely done 1 month of 2020 and it already feels like it should be 2022 by now. That's because this past month has been a wild ride filled with enough breakups, controversies and excommunications to last us not just the whole year, but 2. What's up everyone, it's Susan Morad here with Clever News and I just want to do a quick recap of the wildest things that have happened over the past month because there's been a lot of them. First, the year started off right away with threats of World War III looming over us. News of rising tensions between the United States and Iran hit all of our news feeds right on New Year's Day. Since then, tensions between the US and Iran have subsided a little bit, but not before a number of World War III and draft memes flooded Twitter and TikTok, making it the most dismal first meme of the year since kids started eating Tide Pods. Shortly after that all happened, news broke that Tana Mongeau and Jake Paul were officially breaking up. They both went to their separate Instagram accounts to break the news to their fans. Tana said, quote, "Okay, I don't really know how to do a we're taking a break post and this is weird as f***. I'm happy to still be able to sit with Jake and laugh as we do this. But for right now, we both are taking a break to focus on our own very crazy lives. I'll never know what the future holds and I will always love Jake and everything that we did." She continued saying, "I'm grateful to know throughout this I've made a best friend for life and found someone to do life with when no one understood me. Here's to 2020 working on us and my new Lamborghini since I get half of everything. No need for crazy speculations. This is coming from a place of nothing but love. I love you, Jakey. Thank you for this past year." Jake also shared his feelings on their relationship and breakup. He said on Instagram, "As Tana and I sit next to each other writing captions about taking a break, we're literally laughing at how crazy and stupid this past couple of months have been and cracking jokes at how silly this all seems. I'm keeping custody of Thor, but Tana unfortunately gets my Lamborghini." Jake also said the moment was bittersweet, but it's what's best for us right now and that he has nothing but love for his ex. Another breakup that happened so far this year is a little different, and not just because this couple is the furthest thing from a YouTuber. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they would be stepping down from their senior positions in the royal family. It all started 2 weeks ago when Harry and Meghan returned from their holiday trip to Canada. Upon returning to Buckingham Palace, they released a statement on their official Instagram account saying, "After months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make a transition this year in starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen. It is with your encouragement, particularly over the last few years, that we feel prepared to make this adjustment." They continued saying, "We now plan to balance our time between the United Kingdom and North America, continuing to honour our duty to the Queen, the Commonwealth and our patronages. This geographic balance will enable us to raise our son with an appreciation for the royal tradition into which he was born, while also providing our family with the space to focus on the next chapter, including the launch of our new charitable entity." The same day that they released their initial statement on Instagram, the rest of Buckingham Palace responded as well. They said, "Discussions with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are at an early stage. We understand the desire to take a different approach, but these are complicated issues that will take time to work through." Apparently, according to reports, Harry and Meghan took everybody by surprise with their announcement, especially Harry's brother William. A BBC Royal News correspondent said, quote, "Breaking. BBC understands that no other member of the royal family was consulted before Harry and Meghan issued their personal statement tonight. The palace is understood to be disappointed." There have been plenty of rumours on what caused this division as well as what Harry and Meghan plan to do next. Of course, they weren't quite free to leave without first discussing it with the Queen and a team of other people. Last week, the Queen put out another statement. She said, "Today my family had very constructive discussions on the future of my grandson and his family." It continued, "My family and I are entirely supporting of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family while remaining a valued part of my family." So though it might take a little while to get their affairs in order, it looks like Harry and Meghan are packing up and headed west. Where they will end up is still up in the air, but we're excited to see the possibilities. In 2019, James Charles had a difficult year when it came to online drama. And it seems James has found himself in a few situations this year. Remember those draft memes we mentioned earlier? Well, James posted one himself. He said, "Me when the government comes knocking on my door for the draft," along with 4 photos of him dressed in drag. People took this a bit out of context and assumed he was saying that he would avoid a mandatory draft by pretending he is transgender, referencing the controversial trans military ban put in place by the Trump administration. The ban states that any trans person would not be able to serve in the US military, whether it was mandatory or voluntary. People came for James via social media, who put out a follow-up statement regarding his joke. He said, "Just to clarify, this tweet has nothing to do with the trans military ban, which I obviously do not support. It's a light-hearted joke regarding the fact that I had to register for the draft when I turned 18, just like every other boy, and I don't want to fight in a war. That's all." And I gotta say, that sounds pretty fair. James also got into trouble on the first day of the year when a video circulated of him apparently allegedly saying a racial slur. Now watch for yourself, but it does appear that he doesn't actually say or mouth the word when it comes on in the song. He replied to a fan doubling down on his innocence the following day. James said, "Turn up the volume and listen. I skip over it. How stupid would I have to be to confidently record a video of me singing the N-word and still have it up the next morning?" Moving on, we had one more bombshell revelation just a few days into 2020 when it was leaked that Justin Bieber has been battling Lyme disease. He has a new documentary coming out soon, and someone who got an advance copy said that in the doc, he and his team discussed the mysterious symptoms that Justin was feeling through most of 2019. For a long time last year, fans of Justin were concerned that he was going through a deep state of depression. And for the most part, that turned out to be true. But what we didn't know was the root cause of his depression. Apparently, sometime in the past few years, Justin had contracted Lyme disease. Symptoms of Lyme disease include headaches, fevers, muscle pain, sleep issues, fatigue, and depression. It went undiagnosed for a long time, but at the tail end of 2019, he found out his correct diagnosis and started the appropriate treatment. There was one photo of Justin walking out of a hospital with an IV in his arm taken sometime in September of 2019. At the time, people assumed that it was just an IV for a routine vitamin drip that can help people feel refreshed. But now we know that it was actually pumping him with medication to help offset the symptoms he was feeling. He says that he is ready for his upcoming album cycle and his future tour, which is to be expected to start later this year. So there you have it, some of 2020's biggest moments so far. Check back with us in a few months and I'm sure we'll have a whole new lineup of major things that have occurred. 2020 is gearing up to be a wild ride, so stay safe out there, you guys, and let me know what your top news story of the year so far has been in the comments section. And while you're down there leaving comments, you guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button right over there and also hit the bell to be notified the second we post a new Clever News update. After that, catch up on all the tea you missed right over here. I'm Sizzle Morad. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.